Yes, people, welcome to another episode. Check Hook TV. Nick, your boy Nando, in association of Bravos. Nick, what's good, bro?
Nothing, man. Nothing, man. Just here, getting ready for a weekend of boxing. What are you saying, bro?
Not much, man. Waiting for this weekend, this fight week, and I love fight week, and there's a few fights going on. So, yeah, man, let's talk about, first of all, Cheyenne Hanson. You know, she's part of IQ Boxing. She's fighting one of the greatest of all time, Amanda Serrano.
Yeah,
When this fight came about, like, what did you think of it? Like, did you have to pinch yourself because you know what, Amanda Serrano is a legend.
at first, we didn't think it was real. We thought, someone's pulling our leg. Cheyenne's, done really well. She's ranked in the top 10 with the WBA. So yeah, when the call came through, we was like, yeah, let's do this. It's not every day you get an opportunity like that. We believe in Cheyenne. We believe that she can go up there and, up the boxing world and potentially get a victory against one of future Hall of Famer in Amanda Serrano. Amanda is a top quality operator. We don't have any kind of disillusions as to what we're coming against, but we're also very confident in Cheyenne and what she can do. And hopefully on Saturday night, she will deliver and she'll become the new WBO and WBA super featherweight champion of the world out in Dallas. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, like you said, it's not every day you get to box someone of Amanda's pedigree, stature, and accolades. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're looking forward to.
It's crazy. You see a lot of fighters as they get older. You know, you see them slow down. You see a couple of mistakes. You know, putting a foot wrong in there, but I don't see that in Amanda. And so, you know, she's 37 going to 38. Like I said, she's one of the greatest. Bias hat off. Do you really believe Cheyenne can do it? And if she does, how does she beat someone like Amanda Serrano?
I'm not giving out the game plan because I don't know who will be listening, but definitely we wouldn't have taken the fight if we didn't believe we could do something. We fully back Cheyenne. She's got the attributes in there to go in and do what she does very well and put herself on the world stage and on the world map. And like you say, Amanda Serrano is getting older. People tend to make mistakes when they get older. We've seen with her, there are a couple flaws that we can potentially exploit, but it's not taken away from her top tier pedigree in who she is and what kind of opponent we're coming against. And we're just very confident that on that day, Cheyenne will be able to deliver.
Here's a question. I don't know if you know this regarding what's in the contract in there, but let's look at let's look at some of the things what will happen if Cheyenne was to win. Number
Yeah,
one, obviously, world champion. That's the
yeah,
goal in every fighter, right? An
yeah,
opportunity that's going to change her life forever. Number
yeah.
two, I'm pretty sure Jake Paul would not make this contract without a rematch clause. So maybe bring that fight back to Germany. That would be huge. Bring Amanda Serrano to Germany. If Amanda takes that rematch, three, like another scenario would be Amanda Serrano retires, and you are the girl that retired one of the greatest of all time. But financially as well, it will set you for life. It will change your life forever, and big opportunities out there.
Like you said, all fighters dream of opportunities to box at this level, box at this stage. Cheyenne's no different, and we've approached it like we would any other fight in any other camp. We go out there and work on our attributes and the things that we know that can turn the fight in our favor and give us the victory that we want. Out of all of three of those scenarios, I think all of them, I think we would welcome. Once we're victorious on Saturday. I think Cheyenne deserves to be able to have a world title fight in Germany if she, is to win on Saturday. She deserves that. She's been a student of the game. She's built up a very good following. And I know in Germany they'll be tuned in on Saturday night supporting her and hoping that she brings the world titles back to Germany. for us, it's about getting that job done first. Get that job done first, and whatever happens afterwards happens afterwards. We're not looking at Amanda Serrano and saying, "Oh my God, she's a great," and so on and so forth. She's a boxer like everybody else. Yes, she's got massive accolades, and yes, she will be respected. But on that night, it's her and Cheyenne in the ring, and we're pretty confident that Cheyenne can deliver.
So here's a question, because I believe this is one of the reasons it happened to Ahmed as well a few weeks ago, right? When you're not used to fighting in front of a big crowd, sometimes it can have a big effect on you and your confidence. Um, so I believe that's what happened to Ahmed as well a few weeks ago as well. Part of the reason why he lost this fight. How do you prepare someone like Cheyenne, because she's never fought in a stadium like this? She'll have the crowd against her. Everyone's going to be an Amanda Serrano fan in that Texas stadium, and they do big stadiums out there as well.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare for that atmosphere?
I think like any fight, we talk about Ahmed, I think boxing's just about small margins. I think on the night, it just wasn't his night. And sometimes it isn't your boxer's night. I don't think necessarily about preparing people for the environment or necessarily who they're going to box or where they're going to box. It's more about preparing their mindset about them going to execute the game plan that they've been training for the last XYZ number of weeks and being able to execute that regardless of what's going on. Because I think any fighter will tell you they very rarely are able to hear what's going on outside the ring apart from them and their opponent in there. I think with Cheyenne, she's very confident in her abilities and very confident in what she can do. I think she has her own big following in herself, so I don't think she's really going to be deterred about. And I think she also knows what she's stepping into. I think the difference between her and Ahmed is, she is really going into hostile territory, but I think she's aware of that and knows that, and it's just really hell bent on being able to achieve. And like any fighter who comes out of our gym at IQ, it's just go and deliver on the night. If it's not your night, it's not your night. We dust ourselves off and go again. And if it's your night, we walk away victorious. We know boxing, sometimes it's small margins, sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not your night. Sometimes things just don't come together on the night. And, I think for Ahmed, that was one of those. It didn't come together on the night. And I think with Cheyenne, we're very confident that, she'll be able to, deliver on the night and be able to, look good in what she does. As a gym, we've been on a bit of a roll in terms of big fights and people, boxing on various cards, to, kind of mention, we have Ergul or Bisha, as he's known, boxing on the Azim card on Saturday, as, another big card, TV platform. And that's just testament to the guys in the gym and they all work hard and they're all being given these opportunities. And, us as trainers is just to get them ready for them to be able to perform whatever goes wrong. On the night, we look back on it, and whatever goes right, we still look back and say, what can we do better the next time? And that's going to be the same for Cheyenne. She's ready. She knows what she's got to do. She knows she's boxing arguably one of the greatest female boxers of her time. But she's relishing it. And, like all fighters, should relish that opportunity.
Well, good luck to her. Hopefully, she could bring those belts. I would say home, which is England IQ boxing, but obviously to Germany as well. You mentioned the Adam Azim fight. That's another big card as well here in the UK. Big step up for Adam Azim. How do you see this fight going? Is it a tough fight for him with a very experienced opponent?
Um, I think not. I think Adam has shown when he has boxed, he's got star quality. He's got, those fast hands, good power. Hasn't really been tested in the pro ranks. And I don't think that's because he's not fought anybody of substance. I think when he's just been a level above everybody he's boxed. And I think Saturday will be no different. I think it's the right step up. I think he's got the attributes to do what he normally does and go and put in a good performance and walk away victorious. I do like Adam. Seen quite a bit of him since he's boxed and turned pro at various shows, and he's always looked good. Fundamentals are really good. I think him and Shane McGuigan a good bond there, and he's really developed him and brought him on. And I think he'll prepare him very well for this fight on Saturday. I don't see there being any obstacles or hurdles. The only thing possibly has been the inactivity, which we might see in the early rounds. But I'm quite confident he should be able to get through it. What about yourself? What do you think?
I expect to win. A UD win and a dominating performance. You know, his opponent is a tough fighter. You know, he's got 50 fights and he's only 36.
Yeah.
He's fought people like Teofimo Lopez and he survived. You know, he got outboxed in that fight, but he survived. He fought who's the guy that Conor Ben knocked out? Chris Van, what's his name?
Chris Van
Van
Hern or
Vliet, what's
whatever
his
his
name?
name is.
Van
Van
Hern,
Bern,
yeah,
Van
whatever his name
Vicken.
is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so he fought him. You know, this guy's been in big fights before. He's fought for a lot of like international titles, and he fought for Teofimo for the world title. So he's been at that big stage before. Is it a dangerous fight? Not really, because he's not a big puncher, but he is a good boxer. So Adam, you know, he needs to step up his game in this fight. I personally believe, me personally, a little critical of Adam. I think he was kind of poor his last fight. I'll be real. It was boring. I was there. That was the Chris Eubank Ben undercard.
Who did he fight again?
Don't get me wrong. I can't remember his opponent's name, to be fair, but
Was
it
it the lip? Was it the lips? Lip. Oh, I can't remember his
something
name.
like that.
I've
Yeah, something like
yeah.
that. It was, you know, I like many others expected him to take him out, like, and he almost did in the first rounds, and then yeah, he cruised throughout the whole fight. I think he held back, but I think this one we need a dominant. He needs to send a statement in the division as well. You know, I interviewed Adam on his pro debut, and straight after the fight, ballsy, straight away calling out Ryan Garcia and Haney and Tiafimo. Not like for the next fight, for the future, but now these guys have gone up. So you got the likes of Dalton Smith, which I hope that fight doesn't happen yet. I want them both to get a world title. Well, Dalton's got one. I want
Elton
Adam
Scott.
to go get the IBF. He wins this, it's been confirmed he might fight for the vacant IBF title, and then you could unify with Dalton Smith. That'll be a huge fight there. So you know, hopefully he sends a statement to the division. So good luck to him.
Sergey Lipnets, that's who it was. Sergey Lipnets, yeah. But Sergey Lipnets is an awkward opponent. He looked better against Kurt Scooby though. He got the
Yeah,
stoppage there, didn't he? So yeah, it's yeah. I agree with you. I like to see him push on. I think after this, there needs to be a big fight. There needs to be a big fight for him, and who
but
that
you
is
forget he's only
against.
23 years old. That's the
He's
scary
very
thing about it.
he's
You
very
know, he's
young.
only
He's very
23
young.
years old, and I look forward to when he grows out a bit and he goes to 147. Hopefully, some of these guys are still there. You're going to see some big fights. Him and Jack Catterall, him and Conor Ben, him and Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Tiafimo. You know, the 147 division is gonna be amazing because you forget Dalton Smith still you know, is gonna go up there eventually as well. So
Yeah,
you're gonna see some big fights.
yeah. I think if he picks up world titles, picks up a world title, picks up a good victory, gets a good name along the way, he's ready. Like you say, he's 23. He's young. He's got many attributes. You know, I know I've heard people compare him to Amir Khan in terms of hand speed and explosivity, but I think he's really, really good. I don't think he's
I
shown it
agree.
yet. I don't think he's shown it yet in like consistently in terms of bouts. He reminds me a bit of like Ben Whitaker. You see flashes of brilliance. I know Ben's a bit more maverick and Ben's, you know, had a bit more,
Yeah,
you know, knockout reels and so on and so forth. But I think Adam has got the makings of being really, really good and doing some things. And I hope on Saturday night he shows that. I'll be there, obviously, because we've got someone on the undercard. So I'll definitely be watching intently to see how he looks. And I hope, you know, I hope he delivers.
hopefully, and then we get some big fights. Another big fight as well. And this one's gone kind of a little bit under the radar. Not a lot of people are talking about it. Shaquille Foster and Raymond Ford. This is a great fight. I
I'm looking
believe
forward to
it's
this.
yeah. And now, like you see closer to the fight, there's more needle in this fight, and I love it. You know me,
Yeah.
I want problems. I want problems. When security are getting in the way, when you need about 5 securities in between you, that's the type of fights I love. And yeah, what do you think of this fight?
Listen, I'm going to say this. I think it's going to go down as a classic. I think it's got all the
Yeah,
making stylistically, you know,
fight of the year.
board, board, southpaw, good punching, it's got power there. Shakur Foster, he's never in a dull fight, is he? He's always either pulling it out at the last minute or, just entertaining along the way. And like you
Yeah,
said, both
he's
guys.
kind of like the better version of Jarrett Hurd. If you think about it, the way he
Yes.
fights, the way he's
Yeah.
flashy, and he's like Hurd. Listen, Hurd, former world champion, he was great in his time, but he's like the better, the more advanced version of him.
Yeah. And I like the needle that they have in it because it all started off with, you know, someone cancelling a sparring session and someone saying someone was scared to turn up and someone's got getting the Avengers for sparring and build up and whatnot. I love it. I think Ford was unfortunate against Ball. Till this day, I don't think he lost. That's
I
just my
actually agree with
genuine.
that. I agree. No,
Yeah,
I actually agree with that.
I
He
don't think
was
he
poor. Don't
lost.
get me wrong. I think he was poor against Ball. I don't think he was at his
Yeah, he
best, but
was.
I don't think he lost that.
And I don't think he lost because I think there are moments in that fight where he was putting some shots on Ball that were sickening. Don't get me wrong, Ball had very good work rate, but the one thing I like about Ray is he's always composed. He doesn't look blustered. He's always throwing something that looks really really good.
Yeah,
And I like
he
Shakur
doesn't look
Foster
like
as
he's in
well.
trouble.
Yeah. And I like Shakur Foster as well because he's got that come forward style, but he can be slick with it. He puts punches together. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm surprised it's gone under the radar and it's for a world title. So,
Yeah,
it's
but you
got all
see
the
a lot of these
makings.
fights in the States that go under the radar like this, and it's annoying. Like if I lived in the States, I'll be going to these fights. I'll be
Yeah, yeah,
going to
yeah.
these
Be there.
fights because this fight probably cost peanuts to go. That's the thing. It
Yeah.
probably cost peanuts to go, and it's a great fight. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you got two world class operators there. Like you got two guys
Yeah,
who I think this win, whoever wins, propels them to the next level. Um,
yeah,
you know, if you were to ask me who I think would win, I think Ray. I think Ray Savage wins because I just
I agree.
think stylistically he's just that little bit better. And I think he can pick the better shots and create the openings.
Yeah,
But it does have all the makings of it to be 12 rounds of pure violence. Just
I agree.
unadulterated violence is just
Yeah, because
um
I thought maybe no fight till now was going to top Fabio and Dubois because let's be real, Fabio Dubois is fight of the year so far. This I
not
think
Rico
will
Usyk.
overtake.
You're not gonna put Rico Usyk up there?
No, no. But yeah, I believe this fight may overtake that.
No, do you know what? I can agree with you that because I think they're gonna be big shots landed. I think both fighters can hurt each other in terms of, shots. And I think the genuine needle can cause it to just to be a just bone box kind of fight, just stand in the middle of the ring and go. I think since because Ray's gone up since, hasn't he? Since the fourth Ball fight, hasn't he? 'Cause this is the
Yeah,
weight
he
above,
has.
isn't it? Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's looked better. He's looked better the weight above. He looks stronger. He looks
yeah.
bigger. Um, I
He
do
looks
think
more
Foster is.
comfortable.
Yeah, I do think Foster is big at the weight though. I do think he is big. He might have the
I
natural
agree.
size advantage. Natural size
I agree.
advantage. So
I I
it'll be
think
interesting.
I think win or lose, I think he's going to go up after this fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that statement as well because he looks big, and it'll be interesting
Yeah,
to see at the weigh-in if the because you always can tell at weigh-ins if they've done the weight right, they look, and if they haven't, and if he's missed this or not done it right, all it could be a problem. Be a problem. What I
yeah,
don't want is any of them coming in heavy, and it's like only one person can win the belt because that's going to irritate me.
yeah. It just ruins it, doesn't it? So
Yeah, but I'm definitely looking
it,
forward
it
to that
seems to
one.
be happening a lot as well.
You know what it is? I think fighters. there's this whole new school of boiling yourself down to get to a weight to win a world title or whatever, and then all of a sudden people are like just losing the belts on the scale, and it upsets me, man. If you've won it and you know you're too big, just go up, man. Look up, go up.
Yeah,
Do what Ellie Scotney's done. Just win it and go up and say, look, I need to defend it. I'm gone up, don't I anymore. But it seems to be a new school thing, being big at winning yourself down and trying to get to the weight. I do hope, win or lose, he goes up because he looks huge. But
yeah,
it's a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward
yeah.
to
It
it.
should be a good fight.
In terms of that as well, our our boy Bivol's back this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah,
He back
he
this weekend?
is. He is. He should. Look, he's been out of the ring for a while. He should. He should win. He should win this fight. With ease. I can't see any ring rust against this guy. Um, that they've called for him to fight Callum Smith. So he needs to get that ring rust off, and then the Callum Smith fight will happen. I hope. I hope it doesn't happen in the UK. I hope it's on neutral grounds because I don't want Bivol to get robbed. I want it to be a fair fight. I don't want it to be in Russia either. I want it to be in Saudi because they're both matchroom. It's going to be fair. Um, I know me and you have discussed this over like off camera as well. Do you still believe Smith can stop him?
I do think believe Smith can do something. I generally do believe he can do something. Because I think Smith's got loads of attributes that people kind of overlook. He does carry power. He does have the ability in terms of height and reach. He would have that over Bivol. I know people talk about Bivol's work rate and whatnot. I genuinely believe he's got the opportunity to do something special. And, we talk about Callum Smith. He's been undisputed, if I remember correctly, at super
No,
middle. What was he
no,
then? Unified.
unified.
Unified then, yeah. So it's unified at super middle. Was super middle, wasn't it?
Yeah, because then
Yeah, super
Canelo
middle.
came into
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah, of course, Boogeyman Canelo. Um, but I think on the world level, I don't think he's looked base. He's got some very good names on his CV. He's boxed some good
Yeah,
people. You talk about the Canelo fight, but Canelo is a generational great. I'm not saying Bivol isn't. I think Bivol will be ranked the same. So I think for me, he can shock the world. I think he could do something to shock the world. But it will be
yeah,
interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Bivol looks. Like I said, I think we said this off air. When Bivol came back against Craig Richards, he didn't look great. Craig was actually quite in. It was close in the fight. I think Bivol pulled away towards the last few rounds. And if Callum can do something along those lines, I think no disrespect to Craig, but Callum carries that little bit more power and has a bit more world experience. I think if Craig had a bit more experience, it would have been a bit more interesting, and Craig could have been a world champion on that now. So
yeah.
yeah, I do still think
I,
Bivol could do something.
yeah. Listen, like we said about Usyk, everyone's allowed to have an off night. I agree. Craig could have done something, but I think he was world class against both. I still stick to now that he won the first Beterbiev fight. I will die on a hill before I
Oh,
ever give
Bivol.
that to.
Oh, Bivol.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
100%, 100%. I don't see how you
yeah,
give that to Beterbiev.
yeah.
Never.
That was literally like the first Triple G Canelo fight. He got robbed. He literally
Yeah,
got
yeah,
robbed. So,
100%.
um, and he looked world class in that fight. And then he just went he went Super Saiyan in the second fight. He had to make sure.
He had to.
He had
He
to
had to. He
make
had to make sure.
Yeah, he had to make sure because if he left it again like close to the judges, he probably would have got robbed again. And he had to he literally schooled him. Literally the same way he schooled Canelo as well. Where
Yeah.
there he shocked the world. He was the underdog in that fight against Canelo as well. And Canelo was the guy going up. So me personally, Bivol carries power. What I saw in the fight against Buatsi with Callum Smith, he's vulnerable. Like Buatsi had more killer instinct. If that was maybe, you know what? If that was Anthony Yard that hurt Smith, he would have finished him. But Buatsi didn't have that extra killer instinct to jump on him, And if Bivol gets you like that, he'll finish Callum off, in my honest
But
opinion.
also,
And I'm going with a stoppage with Bivol,
are you?
probably like in the later rounds.
But who's really hurt Callum?
Boatsy. Boatsy
Was
hurt
it
him in that fight.
was it really he hurt him, or was it one of those flash shots? Because I know he hurt Buatsi in that fight about three,
Oh
four
yeah,
times.
100%. 100%. Boatsy should have been stopped.
Yeah,
Um, but there was at one point, I can't remember if top of my head, round 3 or 4. Go back to it.
yeah.
Like someone can leave in the comments as well. There was a round where he actually hurt him, and I can't remember if it was that he didn't have the extra like energy to do it, or he was saved by the bell, but he was hurt. He was
Oh,
hurt,
I'll
and
have to go back and see. I don't remember, but yeah, definitely.
yeah, I personally believe, as much as people will go with a Bivol points win, I think he'll stop. I think he'll stop him.
That'll be a big statement if he stops
Yeah, because
Smith, because
we all know what they're doing. We all know. First of all, Beterbiev, he's 40, 41. He hasn't retired yet. They're going for that trilogy. If he beats Callum Smith, they're going
leave
to
it
go for that
alone, man.
trilogy.
Leave it
I
alone, man.
personally don't want to see that. I would rather see Benavidez Bivol.
I don't want to see Benavidez Bivol. I think Benavidez is too big.
Nah, he still
I
Bivol beats him.
think it's too big. I think
It's
it's too
too
big. I
big or
don't.
not. Bivol will still outbox him.
Big statement, man. That's a
Yeah,
big
it's
statement.
a big statement, but but listen. I've rated Bivol from day. Like I think that guy is special. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. You know, every time they talk about pound for pound list and they put Inouye, Usyk, and Shakur, whoever they put in there, they never mention Bivol ever. People need to put some more respect on his
No,
name because this.
I've seen him. I've seen him top five pound for pound list. I've seen him up there.
But people don't really talk about him though. People don't really talk about him. They always talk about people like they talk about Bam more than Bivol, and Bivol achieved
It's the
more than
knockout
Bam.
reels. The knockout reels, though, isn't it? It's the style.
Uh,
We know that though. We know if you talk to a boxing purist, I think Bivol's in your top five, whatever way you want to
Million
rank it.
percent,
Yeah, I
million
think if you
percent.
speak to people outside it, they'll have him in the top 10. For me, Bivol's top five. You know, you're looking at Usyk and Niue. I don't have Canelo in my top five anymore,
No,
personally.
not now, not now.
No,
Before, obviously, yeah, but not now. Since he lost to Crawford, that's gone.
yeah, and then yeah, there is arguments for Bam Bam Rodriguez. You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, I'd have Devin Haney in my top five. Most people wouldn't agree with me, but he's been undisputed. He's everyone he can box and he's having a big fight, so I'd have him up there in my top five. But that's just me. But I agree with you in terms of Bivol. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves from maybe boxing fans because he's not that thing. If you watch the first fight with Beterbiev, it was like a chess match. It was a high IQ fight. You know, and the second one was pretty much the same, but he was just a little bit better. I think his most exciting fight might be the Canelo one, where he was a bit more on the front foot and a bit more aggressive because he knew what Canelo could pose. But yeah, I think he's really understated. But also as well is he doesn't box as regular as the others. He's like one fight a year, so he doesn't really get that traction because of that as well. So it's kind of hard to build upon that as well.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think he's been held back a bit because they were trying to make that Beterbiev trilogy. That was meant to
Yeah.
happen. That was meant to happen. Was it October or whatever it was? And then it just fell through, and he's just been waiting for an opponent. And then he got injured, if I'm not mistaken. If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, he
not,
had surgery on his hand or something, didn't he? So
yeah,
he's been out for
something
some
like that.
time as well.
So yeah. So listen, I welcome the Smith fight. It's great. So I look forward to that.
I think Smith can shock the world potentially. Might be able to
We
do
should.
something. Remember, he's got the size advantage. Or when we watched him against Boaxi, he was a lot more aggressive. He used his size and his reach as his advantages a lot more than I've ever seen him in the past. And he's got that killer left hook. So if he's able to land that, and Bivol doesn't move, then I don't know what else can happen for Callum, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. It should be a good fight.
Yeah, hopefully the undercard will be good as well. But bro, before we go, just a quick breaking news from today. Sky Nicholson's been elevated to WBC champion. It's a shame unless she goes up to fight Ellie Scottney. We're looking forward to this fight. But yeah, good luck to her, and hopefully we could get the Scottney fight eventually. Or I would love to see the Tiana Brown rematch.
Tiana Brown rematch would be interesting because I was very surprised that Tiana Brown beat Sky.
I agree.
I think Sky stylistically is a very good fighter. She's
Yeah,
she I'm not going to call it a female Shakur, but it reminds me a lot of Shakur in terms of the way she
yeah,
boxes, IQ, and so on and so forth. So yeah, her against, I never say her, the Japanese girl would be a good fight.
yeah,
Potentially it would have been maybe a Harry, Japanese girl maybe against a Shannon, and then Nicholson against someone else, and then and then move on from there. But obviously, women's boxing, they tend to champions tend to fight each other a lot quicker than they do in the male game,
yeah.
which is fine. I do think if she boxes, again, it's gone out of my head. Who you just mentioned that she lost to?
Ellie Scottney.
No,
Oh,
who's Sky
Tiana
lost to?
Brown.
Tiana Brown. That's it. I think if she boxes Tiana Brown again, I think it will be interesting because I think that air of surprise Tiana Brown is kind of gone. People know her style. I think when she
Yeah,
fought Sky Nicholson, I think she just caught her out, ordered her. So it'll be interesting. I do think this time is Sky, but I think we'll see Sky where she's been in the last few times, defensively aware, but also vicious in terms of when she's on the offense, kind of really putting her hands together and putting it on a show. Would welcome that, but she's been elevated to world champion. That's great. Thank you. I'd like to see her at least got near.
yeah. That's a big fight. Look forward to it, guys. Remember to subscribe. That subscribe button helps a lot, man. So please press that subscribe. Go on our Instagram as well. We'll see you the next time.